It says Rihanna may have one of the hottest love lives as everyone around tries to figure out who she's with now and how long it will last. Despite her rough past, as my new cat Dexter is making an appearance on the show, Rihanna has been giving single girls everywhere some love lessons as a living example. When considering her dating patterns, we picked up on a few gems on how to date like her. So, right out of the gate, Sonia is glorifying promiscuity by characterizing Rihanna's love life as one of the hottest around. Translation: Rihanna has been with a lot of guys and has had a turbulent, volatile love life. Gentlemen, this is nothing to be proud of. Okay, Miss Eskridge, like most female authors who write about dating, is leading girls astray when they characterize bed hopping as hot. Young girls, they read this kind of stuff and they think, yeah, I've been with a lot of guys. I've had a turbulent, volatile love life just like Rihanna, and if she's okay, then I'm gonna be okay. It's okay. If it's okay for her to do it, then surely it must be okay for me to do it too. Then she makes trying to figure out who she's with and how long it'll last as a badge of honor. No, this isn't a badge of honor. Not knowing who she's with this week isn't anything to be proud of. People wondering how long your relationships will last is not something a woman should be dignified to think or say about herself. When a girl gets with a guy and her friends wonder, how long is this one gonna last? They're not really asking a question. They don't really care about how long it's gonna last because, number one, girls don't really care about each other. Number two, they're making a statement by asking a question. You see, gentlemen, when people around a female ask this question, what they're saying is that she gets around. They're saying that she has men in and out of her life all the time, and her bedroom is a revolving door. And if women are honest with you, and themselves for that matter, they'll tell you that if they find out that someone asked, well, how long is this guy gonna last? They would feel anything but honored. Asking this question about any given guy a girl is with quite literally says she's a hoe. Period. End of discussion. And this is exactly what Rihanna is. Now, the statement Rihanna has been giving single girls everywhere some love lessons as a living example is extremely dangerous for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is something I say every single time black women want to compare themselves and the plight of everyday sisters to celebrity. You ain't Rihanna. You're not Beyonce, ladies, sisters. You're not Halle Berry. You're not Kerry Washington. You're not Michelle Obama. You're not a celebrity, boo. Now, some might ask, well, Donovan, they're obviously not celebrities, so other than the obvious, why is being a living example for regular girls dangerous when celebrities do? Well, I'll tell you why. You see, Rihanna's been around, like most girls. They have that in common. Rihanna's also had some heartbreak, also something, the average non-celebrity girls have been through, and of course, Rihanna's been alpha widowed, 3 for 3, and we'll get into the alpha widow part a little bit later. But here's the main difference between Rihanna and Shaniqua. Get my new ebook absolutely free. Just subscribe to my newsletter at donovansharpe.com/newsletter. The link is in the description. Rihanna's dated high-value men, gentlemen. Leonardo DiCaprio, J.R. Smith, Ashton Kutcher, Travis Scott, Shia LaBeouf, the list goes on. And while sleeping around is detrimental to a woman's physical, mental, and psychological health, regardless of a man's value, that damage is far worse when giving it to ASNs, and you brothers can figure out what that acronym means. Yes, gentlemen, Rihanna has lost the ability to pair bond, and no, she'll never really have a good relationship because of this. This is bad for her, but it is much worse for average girls who deal with average guys. Don't get me wrong, guys. Sleeping around is bad for women no matter what, but at least Rihanna didn't have to deal with her dude taking her car to see his baby mama or his side piece while she's at work. Rihanna didn't have to deal with men who had more than one apostrophe in their names, which tells you all they need to know about their mothers. Rihanna never has to deal with dudes being at her house all day smoking weed and playing video games with his homeboys, stinking her house up, eating up all her food, running out all her gas. She didn't really have to worry about messing with BANs, and you brothers can figure out what that acronym means, who always hit her up for money. All the guys that Rihanna has messed with and dated, they all have money. They all have their lives together. And while sleeping with all of these high-status men certainly wasn't good for her, the extent of that damage is not quite as bad as dealing with ASNs. DiCaprio didn't leave her broke. Travis Scott didn't get a credit card in her name. J.R. Smith didn't crash her car and then disappear. So while all of these girls think Rihanna is the pinnacle of dating success for women, she ain't. And following her example will leave girls broke because guess what, ladies? Ryan Philippe ain't checking for these broads like he's checking for Rihanna. Which leads me to the biggest reason why Rihanna will lead black women astray. And this is black women can't date white dudes like that. I say this all the time. You sisters get all excited about the fact that Rihanna's dated guys like Leonardo DiCaprio, Shia LaBeouf, Ryan Philippe, Ashton Kutcher. You guys get all excited about the fact that Meghan Markle married Prince Harry. But like I've said at least a half a dozen thousand times, white dudes ain't checking for sisters, and that's all there is to it. Just because Rihanna can do it doesn't mean you can. Just because Stacey Dash can do it doesn't mean you can. Just because you happen to know a black woman who dates white guys on the regular does not mean you can. The difference between you and her, the girl you know, is that she's hot, she's feminine, she's submissive, and she knows her place. Period. Period, point blank. The average black woman, gentlemen, is none of these things. So expecting to have blonde-haired, blue-eyed dudes line up to get with you because you see celebrities doing it is going to continue to disappoint you. For heaven's sake, sisters, stop believing you can do things you really can't do. White guys don't want you. Deal with it.